Luton is the home to the biggest and busiest fire station in the east of England, employing 64 full-time firefighters. For 50 years, crews from this station have provided 24/7 emergency fire cover for the town of Luton. Call-outs range from major industrial and domestic incidents to car fires and arson. There are 2 pumps, one of which is now on its way to the first emergency call of the day. The 999 caller gave only scant information, so the crew have to search for telltale signs of smoke around the streets of the reported location.
Luton Town, for information, this was traced to police control via a police unit in the area.
Tracy Hutchinson has been at Luton for nearly 4 years. She's one of 9 full-time female firefighters working for the Bedfordshire and Luton Fire and Rescue Service.
On the way to shouts, you'd be thinking, depending on what shout it is, what you might come across. If it's a fire, then you'd be thinking, do I know what the building is? Do I know what it's used for? So it's just run through scenarios about what it might be when you get there. But the worst thing you could do is make a plan of action, because inevitably it'll always be not what you expected.
The smoke and its source are still proving elusive.
Yeah, it's this one here on the left here.
Yeah, I'm just pulling in, Andy.
Definite bonfire, Nick.
Fire found. The next issue is access.
Yeah, he's got someone around the front.
Get through the next one, neighbours.
This may appear to be just another bonfire, but in the firefighters' eyes, it has all the marks of a fire that could easily get out of control.
It's quite harmless, I suppose, to have a bonfire, but it could all go a bit terribly wrong. It had a wooden fence around it, and it was very close to the wooden fence. It was quite spread out in the garden. It was burning green vegetation. It was giving off a lot of smoke. We put it out because the people who were watching the fire weren't particularly watching the fire, and all they had was a little washing up bowl of water. So if it had got out of hand, there was absolutely no way that they were equipped to cope with it or stop it spreading. We used probably about 100 litres to put that fire out, and there's no way you're putting 100 litres in a washing up bowl.
The firefighters leave, satisfied they've averted a flaming disaster.
Person's reported report of an explosion.
Your left hand wall, basement, for the entrance there, yeah? Got it?
Left hand wall, basement.
Basement, yeah.
Back at the fire station, White Watch embark on a drill to rescue suspected casualties trapped in a simulated house fire. Breathing apparatus is essential, as conditions inside the building are cramped and dark and filled with smoke. A fitness enthusiast, Tracy Hutchinson is undaunted by the physical and psychological challenge of the job.
And there's many a time that you go to a job and it is quite dangerous, but you don't really get a chance to process it because you've got all these other things that are going on. You know what you've got to do, and you just go in and do it. And it's only sort of like afterwards, like you'd be sitting, maybe eating something around the mess table, and you just think, hang on a minute, that was a bit dicey, that was. But you just don't really, you just go into sort of autopilot. You're just doing your job at the end of the day.
Where was this one? Safe spot?
It's quite enclosed. It's hard to move around because your cylinder gets caught in the ceiling. We got some debris, and the debris was blocking a tunnel, so we could get around the other side. There was one casualty at one end and one casualty at the other. So then we just removed the debris, moved it into a tunnel that we'd already searched, and then continued searching the rest of the tunnels.
If drills like this seem a little artificial, they do keep the firefighters up to scratch. None of them are strangers to the real thing.
I've crawled down a storm drain before because some kids had lit a fire at the end, and the only way we could get to it was like crawling down a storm drain.
Like Tracy, Richard Portlock has clocked up nearly 4 years' service as a firefighter, and like her, is undaunted by the idea of getting into difficult situations.
What we try and do here, it's a very safe environment. We had 2 people, sort of safety officers, watching this to make sure that we was doing all right. So we try and simulate the hardest drills that we're ever possible to encounter, like rooms full of load of rubbish and sofas and things, and have to pull those out. And we use the tunnels and basements to make us better for when we get out there and have to do it for real.
Drill finished, it's time for a meal in the mess, which at Luton Fire Station is on the 3rd floor. It's not long though before White Watch get a shout. It's all hands to the pump as fast as possible.
The station's quite big, it's on 3 stories, and there's 4 flights of stairs to get up to the top deck. So we still use the poles. It's obviously more safer to slide down the pole than it is to run down 4 flights of stairs. So if we're at the top deck, we've got 2 pole drops, and the watch is about 16 strength, so any one time you can have like 12, 13 people going down 2 poles.
A smoke alarm has been activated in a house, but as yet there are no other details. For Richard Portlock, travelling under blue light is the realisation of a childhood dream.
I've always wanted to be a firefighter since I was a little boy, since I was about 5 years old. Even now when the bells go down, you still get that adrenaline rush and that little bit of buzz, even, you know, this is what you're here to do sort of thing.
Smoke coming out the window. It's your house, is it? Yeah. Yeah, you live alone? You didn't, mate.
It's not long before the crew find the source of the smoke. The occupant had started cooking his supper.
It was an oil pan, so it could have gone up and set fire to his kitchen, but he put some cooking on, went outside, the door shut behind him, so he got locked out. The oil pan started to smoke, set the smoke alarm off.
The immediate danger now over, all that remains is to get the smoke out of the house. Without a smoke alarm, the story could have been very different. It's a message the fire service is keen to get across.
People don't understand the importance of them. We've been to so many houses where there's smoke alarms on the ceilings or on a ledge, but they're not connected, they haven't got any batteries in, or people don't test them. You know, a smoke alarm without a battery is useless. You can't stress to people enough the importance of seconds that it's going to give you in a fire.
Once that's all cooled down, empty your pan.
Listen, just take it with you, right?
No, we don't want to eat that. You can have it. Look.
As night falls, Richard and the crew get called out to a burning vehicle, which they have a strong suspicion will have been started deliberately.
Always fold them in. Right, think about gas if it's a camper van.
Aside from the danger of the vehicle's fuel tank exploding, camper vans are likely to have bottled gas for a cooker. In a fire like this, it's a bomb waiting to go off. The other thing the crew is concerned about is what's in the fuel tank, petrol or LPG, liquid petroleum gas.
So we're just checking at the moment with the thermal imaging camera, and it's working for an LPG camper van of oil, so it's gas and petrol. This is a normal sort of problem we get. We turn out to what looks like a normal minibus, and as you can see, it's a homemade LPG, so they're running fuel in it to be more economical. So potentially you come into a fire like this and it's actually, you know, it's a bomb in the back of the motor.
The flames may appear to be out, but red hot metal could easily reignite any unburned bits of seat or upholstery remaining in the wreckage. So firefighter Sean Masters gets out the thermal imaging camera.
See if there's any hot spots. Strange enough, when we turned up again, it didn't show too hot, so which was a good thing. Only scare we had was around the manifold at the top. But it's nice and cool now, so that's cool.
It seems the crew arrived in time to prevent what could have been a major explosion. It's a good result.
If you get that one big shout where you go out and sort of help people and it all turns out good, then it is hugely rewarding, and actually people appreciate you and thank you. You sort of step back and think, you know, you've done a good job, and you go home and have a smile on your face thinking you've actually done something worthwhile here today.
My job is worthwhile. I hope that we make a difference, and I hope we make a difference for the better. The job does make you feel good. For me, it's the best job in the world.